Okay, Exodus 34 through 40. What stood out to you there? Something new, something interesting? Matthew?
Like how when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, how his like face was shining because he was talking to God. I just didn't really notice that.
Yeah, isn't that something? We're told in the book of Hebrews that apparently, well, what did he have to do because his face was shining?
He had to put like a veil over it.
Yeah, otherwise people's eyes were getting hurt. But we're told in the book of Hebrews that he actually kept that veil on longer than what he needed to, because he liked the idea that people thought that he still had that glow from God. So he kept wearing it even when he wasn't glowing anymore. Sometimes we do that. We get kind of proud of maybe how spiritual we are, or whatever it might be, and keep up an appearance when maybe there's really nothing there. Okay, what else stood out to you here?
It's more like a question, but do you know if there's a reason they use acacia wood more than anything else?
I don't know. I'm not sure if we even know for sure what kind of wood that is.
It says acacia wood like a lot.
I know, but what exactly that is, I don't know. Or what the, is that wood different than other wood? I don't know.
Like I just thought it was amazing how much like gold and like bronze and silver they had to build like the tabernacle and all the things in it.
Mm-hmm. Because it's pretty big, and there's a lot of that precious metal going into it. And yet, when Moses asked for contributions, what did he have to do? He asked for contributions from the people to bring in their gold, silver, in order to construct the tabernacle. What did he eventually have to tell them?
Stop coming because they got so much of it.
Yeah, stop. Can you imagine any church today saying, all right, folks, stop bringing money. We got enough. Okay. Anything else? John?
I didn't know about all the materials that were used for like the ark and the altar incense.
All the different materials used for the furniture, objects that were in the tabernacle. How many have ever seen a model of the tabernacle or pictures of the tabernacle? It's pretty impressive if you see a model of one that's done accurately. Okay, if that's all we have to share from those chapters in Exodus, we are now ready to prepare for a quiz over Egypt. So in order to help us prepare that way, we are going to play a game. And so this is what we'll do. And I'll ask questions, and you're going to have buzzers. There's going to be two of you on a team, so we'll just go with the pairs we have here. Unless the girls want to be together and you want to force Zach to go over to John. You guys want to be together or not? Okay. One of Mia and Zach switch then, and Zach and John can be together. Okay, you guys, you two get that one. You get that one. All right, just to make sure they're working, I'm going to call out a color, and then you may press it. Don't keep pressing it. I have to clear this first. Let's see. Oops, wrong button.
You are the expert.
Nice. Okay, let's see, what do we have? Purple, blue, pink, Orange. Okay, now I need somebody to keep score.
Well, I can do that.
Can you do that while you're
Yeah.
participating? Okay. On a piece of paper, you can use the back of that one if you want, or a piece of paper, and just put down the colors. This is how it's going to work. If you get it right, and you can buzz in anytime while I'm asking the question even. If you get it right, you get 10 points. If you miss it, you lose 10 points. If after I say that's incorrect, and I've cleared the bank here, then the next person that buzzes in gets the answer. But you can only buzz in once per question, all right? And we're going to take turns so that the first time through, the person on the left, on your left, will be the first one to have the buzzer. Yeah, so you got that. And then next question, you'll switch it with your partner. Oh no, you tell you what, I'll let you work together. This is only 2 in a team. We'll let you work together. So either one of you can press it, and you can, if you think you know the answer, your partner doesn't, say it to them. All right. Now every once in a while, I may push the button and it'll just rotate. It'll pick what color, and if that's the case, then you get to answer the question without penalty. All right, first question. What is the most important geographic feature of Egypt? Blue.
The Nile River.
Correct. 10 points. Name the 3 seasons of Egypt. The 3 seasons. Ooh, I thought everybody would be buzzing in on this one. Orange.
Old, middle, and kingdom.
That is incorrect. -10. Aren't you keeping score?
Oh, -10?
Yes.
Okay.
If you miss it, you get points taken away.
I thought it would say 0.
No. The 3 seasons.
Negative.
Flooding, planting, and harvest. What were the 2 sections of Egypt, ancient Egypt? Blue.
Upper and lower.
Upper and lower, correct. 10 points.
No.
Who is it that brought about a united Egypt? Who united Egypt? But you guys knew this. What is that, purple?
Pink.
Pink.
Wasn't that something was the second?
No. -10. Blue.
Hammurabi.
No. That's in Babylon. -10. Just remember the palette? One side had the symbol of Upper Egypt, one side had the Lower Egypt. Called Narmer's palette, or the person's name was Menes. Menes. All right, next question. Menes is apparently the first one to use a title, which means great house. A title for the ruler over Egypt. It means great house. Orange.
Pharaoh.
That is correct. Pharaoh.
Dang it,
10
see,
points.
press it.
Oh, oops.
I didn't mean to press it.
If by chance, why did they go off? Oh, there we go. If you push the button, even accidentally, you have to answer the next question without the question.
No.
All right, green.
There's no
Um,
green.
Oh, no green. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're back to regular. What was the title given to the overseer over all the works under the Pharaoh? Second in command of Pharaoh, Orange. That is correct, Vizier.
I knew that one.
Gonna give you a bonus question, Orange. No points off. What animal apparently killed Menes? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Oh, they don't get the bonus question. Just for fun, anybody know?
The
Wasn't it like a leopard or?
No?
jaguar?
No.
Uh,
A hippo.
Oh.
I remember.
Okay, next toss-up question. What is Egyptian picture writing called? Blue.
Hieroglyphics.
Correct. 10 points. One of the ways in which the Egyptians, one of the things the Egyptians used to irrigate from the Nile was a means of having a bucket on a pole and lifting up the water and going up to the next elevation. What was that called? What was that invention called? That they lifted the water from one level up to another with a long pole attached. You remember seeing the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. The answer is shadoof. A shadoof.
Yeah, I just had a weird name.
All right, next question. What was the title given to those that were writers? Blue.
Scribes.
Correct. Scribes. 10 points.
No.
Next question. The scribes wrote on paper made from what plant? Blue.
Papyrus.
Correct. Papyrus. You're doing a lot of hurt there to that thing, but it's not buzzing. Are you just too slow on the draw or what?
Before it, but it just doesn't work.
What are the 3 major periods of ancient Egypt? Pink.
Middle or old, middle, and new kingdom.
Yes, correct. 10 points.
We're at 0. Job done.
During which kingdom period were pyramids built?
30%.
Purple.
Middle.
That is incorrect.
No.
Minus 10. Pink.
Old.
Old kingdom is correct. 10 points. Who was the one who built the first pyramid, the step pyramid?
I know his name, but I forget it.
His name means he who comes in peace. He is also considered an expert in medicine. Built the first pyramid. Time's up. The answer is Imhotep.
Yeah.
Imhotep.
I was thinking it, but I knew that. I was thinking if it was a pharaoh or not.
The Great Pyramid was built in order to be the tomb of what pharaoh? Purple.
Tutankhamun.
That is incorrect.
No.
Minus 10.
Negative 20.
Do we have to know which one it was?
That's King Tut.
You have to know the pharaoh's name.
We have to know which one.
If you have to ask that question, you don't know.
Okay.
The answer is Pharaoh Khufu.
Oh,
Not bad, Dad. Yeah.
In addition to the pyramid, the Great Pyramid, what else was built during the Old Kingdom period that is a major attraction? You only have to push it once.
Sphinx.
The Sphinx is correct. 10 points.
Wasn't working.
Maybe that's the problem, is you're hitting it so much without pushing it.
It's not a Sphinx. It's a joke.
It
'cause
stinks. Come on now,
Now you
you
were
get it
dumb.
right.
It was a joke because Griffin doesn't know.
During the Old Kingdom period, a process was developed by which to prepare Pharaoh for the next world. What is that process called? Purple.
Mummification.
That is correct. Mummification.
Hey.
Bonus question.
Ooh.
Into what did they place the organs of the dead
In
Pharaoh?
a jar.
What are they called?
Jars.
I want the name of them.
I forget. Organ jars. Thanks, Matthew.
All right, time's up. They don't know. Just for fun, anybody know?
No.
Canopic jars.
That's what that
Dang
was.
it.
Dang it, I didn't know.
We tried for a second.
Following the Old Kingdom period, as the Old Kingdom period, what is the next period of time called in ancient Egypt? Purple.
New.
No.
Oh. What is that?
Pink.
Middle?
No.
Oh, really?
Those are minus 10 for both of those answers.
Is that good?
Wait, what was the question?
What are you saying?
Orange.
Intermediate period?
Which?
Old? Middle?
No. The first intermediate period. So nobody got that one. Everybody loses 10 points. First intermediate period.
It was winning.
Wait, did we lose?
Did you?
We didn't guess.
No, everybody. I meant everybody who attempted.
Oh, okay.
Winning by 50. Yeah.
After the first intermediate period, a time of civil war between a couple of cities in Egypt, finally authority was restored in the Middle Kingdom period. During this period, we find a powerful pharaoh and the development of a very strong social pyramid. In the social pyramid of the Middle Kingdom, who was on top? Purple.
Zero.
Pharaoh is correct.
That was really long.
In that social pyramid, who was under Pharaoh? Blue.
Nobles and merchants.
Oh, not exactly. Lose 10.
Common.
Pink.
Priest.
Oh, yeah, priest. That's fine.
Incomplete. Minus 10.
Well. No, we're in second place.
Put those two answers together and leave out part of what Matthew said. It's priests and nobles. Priests and nobles. In the social pyramid, who is under the priests and nobles? Blue.
Slaves.
No. Another negative 10. Purple.
Commoners.
No. Negative 10. The answer is merchants. In the social pyramid, who were under the merchants? Blue.
Slaves.
No.
I don't know.
Purple.
Commoner.
Yes, common people.
Let's go. I know.
In the social pyramid, who is under the common people? Orange.
Slaves.
Correct. Slave.
I literally.
During the Middle Kingdom period, it was a time of great prosperity. Let's see. Oh, and during that time period, we have the first Hebrew coming into, well, no, we shouldn't say that. The first Hebrew who comes and stays in Egypt. Who is that? Pink.
Joseph.
Correct, Joseph. For whom was Joseph a slave when he first came to Egypt? Purple.
Potiphar?
Yes, Potiphar.
I don't want to talk about it.
Next, Don't make fun of
Really
them,
hurt my
say
feelings.
things. What,
Retired.
eventually, to what position did Joseph arise? Orange,
Vizier.
right, Vizier.
Three.
Okay, let's get a recap of the scores.
Huh?
What are the scores?
Purple is 10, blue is 10, pink is -10.
We have
orange is-
0 now.
No, you have -10. I did the math. Pink is -10 and orange is 10.
So,
Three-way tie for orange.
three-way tie with 10 points.
Yeah.
Social pyramid.
After all these questions, 10 points.
Blue is
Okay.
the only one that hasn't gotten to the negatives yet, though.
All right, next question. Let's see if somebody can pull ahead here. The time period following the Middle Kingdom was called what? Orange.
The second intermediate.
Correct, Second Intermediate.
I want to talk about
During this time, there was an invasion. By whom? Pink.
Isn't it the Hemorrhites? Hemorrhites?
They probably were Amorites. What were they called? So it's gonna be -10. Purple.
The Hittites.
Hittites, no.
Oh,
-10.
you got 0. I want to talk about
Time's up. The Hyksos. 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 Next question. What new weapon did they bring to Egypt? Blue.
Chariots.
Chariots.
It's like,
Who is it that drove out the Hyksos?
oh,
Time's up. It was Ahmose the First. What did he do with the remaining Semites? Pink.
Made them as slaves.
Or,
Um,
well, I guess that, drove them out, okay. Made it slaves is 10 points.
still got -10.
This established the final time frame of ancient Egypt called what?
I don't trust it.
This is so easy. Blue.
New Kingdom.
New Kingdom.
Oh, That's like so easy. I didn't expect to do that.
Okay, so Ahmose the First is the one who drove out the Hyksos, established New Kingdom period. The following pharaoh was Amenhotep the First. What did he do that's noteworthy? What did Amenhotep the First do? Recorded in the book of Exodus. Time's up. He began the persecution of the Hebrews. He was followed by Thutmose the First. What did he do? Time's up. He's the one that was engaged in genocide, killing the baby boys of the Hebrews. Following him was Thutmose the Second. And in order for him to come on the throne, he had to marry his half-sister, whose name was what?
I know.
Orange.
Hatshepsut.
That's correct. What did Hatshepsut find that's of importance? What did Hatshepsut find? Orange.
Moses.
Moses.
Oh, that's
10 points.
I should have said it.
Johnny, okay.
Moses, of course, was brought up in the palace of Pharaoh as a prince, but eventually he fled Egypt. Why?
Huh?
Because he killed an Egyptian.
Correct.
Huh?
10 points.
What are you getting?
Next question. To where did Moses flee? Where did he end up? Orange.
Midian.
Midian. Correct.
Faster, Steve.
So why is it on your desk?
Because he's writing stuff down for some reason.
By this time, Thutmose III was on the throne of Egypt. In order to show how much, that's too detailed. He's the one that did numerous building projects, probably used the Hebrew slaves to accomplish that. He died, which is recorded in Exodus 2, followed by Amenhotep II. And what was he of note? Amenhotep II. Pink.
Wasn't he was the one who, when Moses came back, he was there and then drove them out and had the 7.
The quick way to say that he's the Pharaoh of the Exodus, which is what you're saying, right? Okay, 10 points. Against what were the 10 plagues directed? Blue.
The gods of Egypt.
Right. 10 points. What was the 10th plague? Blue.
Death of the firstborn.
Correct. What protected the Israelite people from this last plague? Blue.
They put lambs, blood of a lamb over their doorposts and their
Correct.
thing.
And bonus question, what was that called?
Passover.
Passover, yes, an additional 10 points. As the Israelites were escaping from Egypt, they came upon an obstacle which seemed to trap them. What did God do to remove this obstacle? Purple.
Parting Red Sea.
Correct.
Oh boy.
From there, Moses took the Israelites to the place where he had seen the burning bush to communicate with God. What was the name of that place? Blue.
Mount Sinai.
Correct. What did God give Moses on Mount Sinai for the Israelite people? Blue.
The Ten Commandments.
Correct.
I'm done.
While he was up on the mountain getting the Ten Commandments, the people below got impatient and constructed what? Blue.
A golden cow.
Correct. Golden calf or bull.
So done. 110.
The next Pharaoh, Thutmose IV, because his older brother had died in the 10th plague, had to give a reason why he should be the next Pharaoh. What did he experience or construct to demonstrate that he should be the Pharaoh? King.
The Sphinx.
No. Remember that was constructed back during the Old Kingdom. A long time before. Had to do with the Sphinx though.
I know it, but I forget what it's called.
I remember it now.
He had a dream about cleaning off the Sphinx, and if he did that, that he would be the next Pharaoh. And he constructed a stela which told the story, which is put
The dream stuff.
in Dream Stela. Yes.
I forgot about that.
Okay, Purple, answer the next question.
I didn't even press it. I was spinning it.
Now it works.
I don't even wanna.
Take off 10.
Yeah.
You got that one wrong. The next question is, what did Akhenaten do that caused him to be called the heretical king? What did Akhenaten do? He was Amenhotep IV, changed his name to Akhenaten, and what did he do that caused him to be called the heretical king? Pink.
Didn't he go against the gods' ways and then trap himself?
By what? What do you mean when it's against God's ways? That's not sufficient, sorry, minus 10. Anybody else? Orange?
He changed that they only had to believe in the sun god.
Right, only one God. He became a monotheist, dismissed the other gods at 10 points. He also built a city in which he lived, let's see, and he received what's called the Amarna letters. He lived in Amarna, the letters that came to Amarna from the land of Canaan, complaining about what people? These letters came and said, come help us, these people are taking over.
The Hebrews.
Yeah, the Hebrews. In the letters are called Hebrew, but it's probably the Hebrews. One thing that he apparently did right was marrying a beautiful woman. What was her name? That is Akhenaten. Akhenaten married a beautiful woman. The answer is Nefertiti. After Akhenaten's son-in-law ruled for a time, he was followed by either his son or son-in-law, not sure, who's had one of the few tombs that were not found before the 20th century. Who was that? His treasures we still have because they were not stolen before then. You still see them. Blue.
Tutankhamun.
Exactly, Tutankhamun or King Tut. Came to rule at the age of 10, died at 19, probably murdered, I would say. He restored the old forms of worship. We go through a couple more pharaohs, and then we get to the last powerful pharaoh. Who's the last powerful pharaoh? After him, the new kingdom begins to die off. The last powerful pharaoh put statues of himself all over the place. He's the one that most often you'll see referred to as the Pharaoh of the Exodus, but he's not. Was that orange?
Ramses.
I need a number.
First.
No. Yeah, you already said first. No. Purple?
Ramses the second.
Yes. Why did you? What was it before? I heard you saying it over here under your breath.
Yeah. I don't trust myself anymore.
Against what group of people did Ramses fight a very famous battle in which they eventually established a peace treaty? What people? Against what people did he fight in this battle at Kadesh and established the first peace treaty in history? He hit them with all they had, but it wasn't quite enough. Poor strategy, because they hit him back. Blue.
The Hittites.
The Hittites. Yes.
I was gonna
No,
All right.
Don't do it.
I didn't trust it.
Let's get our final score.
The positives for once in my life. Blue won by a lot. Purple at 10, blue at 130, pink at -10, and orange at 70.
Okay. Well, hopefully you know some of what you need to study that you didn't know today. So the winning, first of all, let me have your buzzers. I hope you enjoyed playing the game.
That's
and we'll
great.
give you something to study. And the winning team may come up and get a kiss from Mr. Henry.
Oh, wow.
Come on up and get your kiss.
That was even.
All right, quiz tomorrow over Egypt. Got a lot of studying to do.